Topping today's news, the F&M leadership battle set after nominations today. Transport Minister Jobert Kobe Davis says the increase in bus fare strikes a delicate balance. The World Relays just hours away from the first starter's gun going off, and Bahamians set to make history at the 150th Kentucky Derby. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News, and it is a pleasure to have you join us. Crowds trailing behind Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard as he made his grand entrance at the party's headquarters for the much-anticipated nomination day. Today, Pintard made his bid for party leadership against former F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis. Mr. Pintard is optimistic about victory in the upcoming race for leader.
Important for what we have had. Are persons who have an alternative view of how the country and the party should be run. It is our obligation to give all and sundry an opportunity to share their alternative vision and let the delegates decide. Well, as far as we're concerned, the population decided on the last leadership and thought it was not appropriate, not adequate. And again, that is not lost on our delegates as well. We believe, while grateful for all that has been done by past leadership, we offer better and have been delivering better and will continue to deliver better.
Amidst the excitement, Mr. Pintard told reporters that he is not shocked by the huge show of support for his nomination today. He explains that it can be easy for the public to see challenges faced by the party and misinterpret support levels, but notes that the F&M is still strong and standing.
The room is a clear indication that Bahamians in general, as well as persons of the Free National Movement, are prepared to work together to improve our country. Even if you have a tiny group that is despondent, that is not going to stop the onward movement and momentum of our organization. So we're not going to be preoccupied with that.
Commentating on the party's future, Mr. Pintard says the party is driven by the need for improvements at many levels in the country.
There's more work to do, but we know that we have set our associations on a path where we have functional associations meeting on a regular basis, growing their membership, being engaged in community activities, and that is critical for success going forward. We also know that we have stayed on top of the issues. We have shared alternative ideas on the way forward for the country, and those ideas have come from the rank and file of the F&M. And so, again, this is significantly, in my view, different in terms of us drawing on our membership and the population to inform our ideas going forward. So, yes, we are making progress. More work to be done, however.
Mr. Pintard says if he remains the party leader, the F&M without a doubt has what it takes to win the next general election in 2026 and unseat the Progressive Liberal Party. Meanwhile, former leader of the F&M and former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis put all speculations aside and nominated himself for the party's leadership about an hour ahead of Mr. Pintard. Dr. Minnis said he is running for the leadership because there are many projects and initiatives he was not able to begin or complete during his previous term.
Why do I want to come back? I have not completed some of the things I wanted to do. My most happiest moments in politics is when I see young people succeed, when I see young people become entrepreneurs and doing well. That's my most happiest moments in politics.
Dr. Minnis says too many politicians claim to want to serve the people and the country, but truly only want to serve themselves.
My most saddened moments in politics is when I see individuals come into politics saying they want to serve the country, and then you discover that they're more interested in serving themselves. That is very depressing. That is very depressing for me.
Dr. Minnis is also confident that he will emerge victorious when the one-day convention is held on June 1st. Meanwhile, Support for current FNM leader Michael Pintard at the FNM's headquarters today seemed insurmountable for Dr. Minnis. Here is Senator Darren Henfield, who served as the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the Minnis administration, expressing why he is now supporting Mr. Pintard for leadership and not Dr. Minnis.
I love Dr. Minnis. I thought Dr. Minnis, along with some of us who served in the cabinet, many of us, we did yeoman's work under very difficult circumstances. But Michael Pintard is now, in my opinion, and my view, has been called to lead this party and to lead this country into the future. It is a wonderful feeling to see the support here in this hall today. There are a lot of people in the Bahamas that are apathetic about politics and politicians, and we saw that in the last two iterations of voting in this country. And so we have to find a way to encourage them to come and participate in this God-given democratic process to help move their country along.
Also at the FNM headquarters in support of Mr. Pintard was former FNM deputy leader and former deputy prime minister in the Minnis administration, K. Peter Turnquist, along with yet another former deputy leader and deputy prime minister from the Ingram administration, Brent Simonet. The FNM's one-day convention, once again, that is set for June 1st. As of Wednesday, May 1st, bus fares in the Bahamas increased for the first time since 2008. Bus fares for adults has increased to $1.50, and for high school students in uniform, $1.25, while the rates for elderly and primary school students remain unchanged. However, while some bus drivers are not happy with the 25-cent increase, JoBeth Kobe-Davis, the Minister of Transport, says she is pleased and noted that the increase bus drivers received is bigger than the recent 10% increase in taxi fares.
I will say that I'm happy with what I'm able to achieve for every portion of my portfolio, and to be able to get to a place where I'm able to bring some sort of relief and some sort of increase after having none for 14 years. I think for me, that's a proud thing. That's something to be proud of. That's an achievement. It's well over the increase for the taxi, but I think because people didn't break it down with percentages, they didn't realize they got a little bit more, because if you do 10% of $1.25, then you could see what that increase would have been had I done a 10% increase for them. They got 25 cents.
The increase in bus fares is the first since 2008. Kobe-Davis said her goal was to find that delicate balance between the industry workers and those who use public transportation on a daily basis.
We have to remember that a balance must be kept. The sector of our country that they service, you got to think about those persons as well. If they're able to afford the cost of maybe one bus back and forth or two buses, it increases the cost now for some of them. I hear them speaking about the cost of living going up, and the government understands that, and it's a priority of the government. One, the energy sector getting under control, but also to bring down the cost of living on our people, that everyone will feel the benefit and have a little bit more disposable income. And so if we continue on our trend and the things that we're working on to reduce the cost of living, then they would feel that increase a little bit more in their disposable income. That's what I'm hoping to achieve.
Ms. Kobe-Davis says the goal is also to bring more reform to the sector, hopefully giving residents more confidence in using public transportation. And finally, in this segment, hobby horse racing once was a big thing here in the Bahamas, and ever since he was a little boy, Larry Demerit has been in love with the sport of horse racing. In fact, he loved it so much that he left the country in 1976, headed to the United States so he can follow his passion. This weekend, Demerit will fulfill one of his dreams after the horse that he trains, called West Saratoga, qualified for the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. That's tomorrow. Demerit, now 74 years old, will become the first black trainer to have a horse in the field in 35 years.
It's a dream come true. The thing with this horse game is we love these animals so much. If we decide to go and take another job, you wind right back up here. So why leave? Just weather the storm. So much people come up to me and tell me how much I inspire them and I encourage them. And stuff like that, that make life worth living. So if I could touch one life, then my life was in vain, you know.
When Demerit's 3-year-old thoroughbred West Saratoga enters the gate, he will be a long shot to win at 50-1 odds to win. Meanwhile, in 1996, Demerit was diagnosed with bone cancer and continues that battle today. He says close to 20 relatives are expected to fly from the Bahamas to support him at the Kentucky Derby this weekend. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.